welcome to Cash and Coffee.
Brought to you by the Radar Free Press.
I'm Kayla Tenboer-Sipes.
And I'm Kaitlyn Blum. So I want to talk about budgeting, but budgeting is really overwhelming. So can you just give me like the number one first step when I need to even be thinking about budgeting? Like, where do I start?
Great question. So yes, it is. There's so much stuff with budgeting, but when you first start, we need to know three things, and those are you're controlling your three W's, which are your what, where, and when. So your what is how much you're bringing in. Are you on a fixed income salary, or are you a variable income? Are you a 1099 and you're making money all different directions and cash on the side? So really understanding what you're bringing in is going to be that first step. Once you know that, you can put that in the Every Dollar app, and then you can break it up into what you're spending. That's the next one, is your where. Where is that money going? And a lot of times people don't know, honestly, and people like to just hide under the covers, and they're like, everything will work out. It always does, and it usually does. But if you understand where everything's going, you can be in control of that, and then you can make sure the categories that you want more money going towards, like your savings, your retirement, you can make sure that's being prioritized over things like getting a coffee every day and all that. So making sure you know how much you're bringing in, where everything is going, and when it's coming out of your account.
So like, what do you mean by like when it's coming out of my account?
Yeah, so that's a great way to control that is your cash flow plan. So I lay out a calendar and I get to tell it when it's coming out of that account, on what day. And so if you go through and say you have $2,000 in your account on October 1st, hypothetically, and then you're gonna go through, look at your bills, and then subtract each day how much is coming out of your account. And you don't want to go negative, right? We're trying to avoid those overdraft fees. So instead of the banks being in control of it and the companies that are withdrawing the money, you want to be in control. Okay. So if you notice that on day 16 on your calendar, oh no, I'm negative, do a little research. Call a few companies. Maybe they're going to be willing to like change the day that they take that out of your bank account and see if they can work with you, and let them know, hey, I am taking control of my money. I have a budget and a cash flow plan, and this is not working with my paychecks when they're coming in and when you're taking it out. Can we adjust the date for when you take that out of my account? And a lot of times they'll work with you. So that's a great way to keep your money going in and out of your account so you don't go overdraft.
Okay, so like the first basic step is just like being aware. So it really looks like just like looking at my paychecks, wherever they're coming from, looking at my bank account, looking at that, you know, like what I'm doing for debit transactions and any cash withdrawals, actually saying, oh, I put cash here, maybe I need to like write that down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so keeping a detailed budget is really gonna help you with that. So that's why I use the Every Dollar app. Mm-hmm. And anytime I make a transaction, I always pull out my phone and I go to the Every Dollar app and I put in whatever I spend in that category.
So that's step one, is just being aware.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not as scary, you know what I mean? When you break it down into multiple steps, it's like, okay, that's doable. As much as I don't want to know how much I'm spending on coffee every week, it sounds like that is the first step to budgeting.
Yes, it is. And that's knowing your habits is really going to help you discover where your money's going. So one of my favorite little tricks is I know if I go to Target, I'm gonna spend $150 and I'm gonna wanna leave with a Starbucks coffee. So because I know that, guess what I do? I drive past Target and I don't stop. So just understanding those habits really puts you in control, and you're prioritizing your budget over getting something really you didn't need, a venti latte, you know? So yeah, understanding and being aware is always the first step. And from there, there's a lot more tricks coming up.
Cool, well, thank you. I want to say thank you to our listeners and to our production crew as well. Remember that the Radar Free Press is free, so we do rely on those likes, shares, and comments to keep us thriving. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out the radar.online.